New construction. There is a new community in Loganville, Georgia called Central Park, and we're going to go on a tour today. Stay tuned. Hi, it's Natasha Bazil with SoldByNat.com, associate broker with Virtual Properties Realty, and today we're going on a new construction tour. So guys, I actually just left there. I have several things to share with you. So I visited this community before. I was out with some buyers for a weekend. We went a lot of places. By that time, they had already found the house that they wanted. So, you know, it was kind of like, all right, let's see. But they had their mind on the other house, and I didn't drive the whole community. I did not realize this community was so big. Like, it's going to be a large community. So I'll bring you footage on that. Definitely stay tuned because I'm going to have footage of me driving around the community. I'll also have footage of me driving there so you can see the area, and you'll be able to see that everything that you need is close by. And when I left, I took a different route so you could see that as well. To give you some points of reference, I did a video on new homes for rent. I drove past that coming in. It's also close to the second brand new homes for rent video that I did. Then Independence is maybe 5 minutes down the road. And when I was leaving, I also passed the old strawberry field. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. It's no longer there, but they do have another location. I want to say it's in Bogart, and it's bigger. So, you know, you can still enjoy it. It's just not in. Now, I visited Central Park. Yeah, one, because of course I want to bring you footage of the community, but two, as one of my YouTube subscribers left me a comment on a video inquiring about Central Park. And then in the same week, I had a client inquire about Central Park. She's going to be a move-up buyer, a dual move client, because she's going to be selling her starter home and buying her dream home. And you know, I specialize in that. If you haven't watched this video, please go ahead and check that out. I wanted to check out the community for her because she's at work. She is a police officer. So sidebar, thank you to all that protect and serve. She gave me the floor plans that she was interested in. I'll include the floor plans that they have there, and you can find that information on their website. But in the video today, I'm going to be showing you the model home, which is called the Preswick, and it is their largest floor plan. It is 3,300 square feet. It is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. One of those bedrooms is on the main level. The host, and I called him a host because it wasn't the on-site agent. Like, they just have someone sitting there to greet people. He's not a licensed realtor. So he shared that the 3 biggest upgrades are the covered rear porch, the gourmet kitchen, and the 7-foot shower. The shower is magical. The shower, it didn't have a bench, but it was still magical. So the price point of this particular lot is $384,130. That's another tip I want to bring you. So you see starts in the low 300s, just know it may have started at some point when they first started building, but trust me, if it says low 300s, you count on the high 300s. The biggest thing I want to tell you is, with new construction, do not wait. Do not wait. Like, I already knew it and have been seeing it and hearing it, but it was totally confirmed when I went to this community. Now, why I say don't wait is because you may have your eye on a place and you're thinking, okay, you know, I'll just wait until we're closer to being ready to go check them out and put in a contract. Do not wait, because you know, you've seen the videos that I've done on the resale market. It's so crazy right now, and a lot of people are just opting to go new construction because they don't have to go through all that, the haggle and submitting multiple offers and it not getting accepted. So they're going new construction. Normally, in the past, you could go to new construction and they would have some homes available for you. Those are called spec homes that they've already started building, and then you could go ahead and put a contract on it, and you could get into one in as little as 30 days. It just depended on how far along the builder was. But now with new construction, because there's so much more demand, those homes are not lasting long at all. And now we're running into going to new construction and they have to build from scratch. So now you're talking 4 to 6 months out, depending on the builder. So do not wait. I have also seen it where you see a community that's about to come and you think, okay, I have time. But no, I ran into it where the community was already almost sold out and they hadn't even put up a house yet. So there's going to be some waiting lists. There's going to be some wait time. So if you are looking to move 2021, summer, spring it, like you need to get on the ball now, because do not wait if you're going new construction, you know, the 2 to 3 months in advance that I would tell you with, you know, resale. You know, we can get you in a house. With new construction, you have to factor in the build time. And when I asked, you know, like, do they need time to catch up and build up all of the lots that they've already sold? He said, yeah, that plus they need to develop the lots that they're going to sell. So basically they're selling faster than they can develop the lots and prepare the land and stuff, if that makes sense. The other thing I want to tell you is that they have, it's going to be a really nice community. They're going to have a pavilion with a restroom. They're going to have a fenced dog park. And we drove by that. I just didn't know what it was at the time. They're going to have a cabana with showers and baths. And then they're going to have, they call it the swim club. So that's what that is going to look like. And let me just tell you, you know, I got this folder. It is okay for you to go out to new construction and talk to them and get information. They're gonna ask you, do you have an agent? And you're gonna say yes. Even if you don't have an agent, you want to say yes and find an agent before you go to put in a contract. Why? Because the on-site person represents the builder. You want to have your own representation, and it does not cost you anything. The builder is paying your agent's commission, and please believe it does not save you any money to not use an agent. So you definitely want somebody that is representing your interests. So the floor plans, you can see this is kind of the sheet that they gave me, and it says selling fast at the top. Here were their available homes. They already have 2 that are under contract. They probably have some more going under contract. As I was there, people were getting their inspections done, and I'm doing walkthroughs. So I did see that. And as far as the price point, the sign says low 300s, but the lowest is around a 340-ish range. And if you haven't seen, I know I've said in another video, prices are going up. So that's another reason why you don't want to wait. You want to lock in the lowest pricing that you can get right now. The prices go up into the 4s. Like this one is $407,250. Got that right. So yeah, and that has a basement. So you can have a basement, and the basement adds $35,000, but bad news, they only have 1 basement lot available of the homes that they have, you know, released, or the lots that they have released. So in case you're like, well, I'll just wait until they open up the second phase to get a basement lot in that area. Yes, keep in mind, they don't have a ton of basement lots. When I asked him, he said on this second phase, he said right here is going to have basement lots. All here is going to be slabs. So they don't have a ton of basement homes in this community. At the time of this recording, the HOA initiation fee is $650, and the annual HOA dues, it's only $475. That is really good to have a dog park and cabanas and a pavilion with restrooms. Like, I'm surprised it is that low. The last thing I want to tell you is regarding the schools. The elementary is Tripp Elementary, Bay Creek Middle, and Grayson High School. And why I say this is like so close to Grayson is because Tripp and Bay Creek, they have Grayson addresses. Grayson High ends up having a Loganville address, so it is literally that close. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now. I think I've shared everything, so go ahead and enjoy this tour of the model home. If you have any questions about Central Park, or just moving, buying, selling in general, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can give me a call. You can schedule with me on my Calendly link. All of my contact information will be down below in the description box. And I would really love to hear more from you guys, so I know what you find useful and informative, so I can make more content like that. It also helps me on YouTube when you drop a comment, even if it's something as little as saying hi, like the video, please go ahead and leave me a comment, and I will be sure to thank you. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite room in the Preswick is, and be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification if you enjoy videos like this. Have a positive, peaceful, and productive day, and I'll talk to you soon.